Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Mary Catherine, and the name of my channel is My Own Little House. Today we have an adventure across the river, and I want to take you along. Good morning everybody. Well, I am on the ferry going across the Neuse River on my way to visit a little farm that has sheep and alpaca. And I'm going to go look at some fleeces there and see if I can afford them and what kind of condition they're in. So I'm going to take you along. The Barnyard is a little farm owned by a lovely couple. And I'm just going to give you a short 360 of my visit. That little shed right there is where we looked at the fleeces, and there is a big old turkey in the distance. You see him in there in front of his shed. There's the farmer. He's walking over to where the horses are. Now look at that little sign. Ducklings crossing. And this is the lovely lady that I talked with. So sweet. It was very muddy that day, and there's their little office. She introduced me to her new horse, and they have a donkey. I love donkeys very much. And this is one of their sheep. This is a Shetland crossed with a Welsh Black Mountain. Now, I looked at quite a number of fleeces that we laid out on the table. I don't know if this is the one I bought. It might be, or it's very similar. They had two females, two ewes that had beautiful, beautiful fleeces. Some of them were more compacted, not easy to pull apart, much shorter staple. But as I looked at these later ones, I realized they had some very nice fleeces. And so I did end up buying a light one. Very gorgeous. Here's a darker one. Now, this is the one I did buy because I fell in love with these little curly, crinkly locks. They were just amazing and so long. They were pretty dirty on the edges, as you would expect. She has a shearer that comes in and shears her sheep. I think it looked like maybe she had fewer than 10 sheep, maybe just like 4 or 5. So here is a picture of some of the locks from the golden colored one that I bought. This is either Naomi or Ruth are the names of these two girls that have that color. And just so beautiful. This is the underside of the fleece. And then this is the other one I bought. It's very, very dark on the underside. This is the outside that's kind of just a little bit lighter brown. And then I did get a bag of what I'm calling the nut brown roving. It's a beautiful, beautiful color brown, and I'm going to show you that first. I'm back on the ferry and going back home. Yes, I did drop a little change at the Barnyard Farm. I bought 2 fleeces and a large bag of roving, and I can't wait to get home and show you what it all looks like. I'm very pleased. This fleece is soft, a lot softer than I expected a Shetland fleece to be. I think maybe because it's crossed with the Black Welsh Mountain. There's a teeny little bit of VM in it, but the lady who processed this into roving did a really nice job. It's fluffy, a little fuzzy. It's not at all like merino, of course. It's more crinkly and not as smooth and straight, but it really sticks together well. I don't know what they call that quality in wool, but the fibers stick together well, so I don't really have to worry about it separating. It's very lovely. Good morning. I'm in the studio, but it's so cold. I have 2 heaters running in here, and I'm wearing these little gloves also to keep my hands warm. Well, you know it's cold when you start putting layers on your teapot. I had coffee this morning, but I'm having a pot of tea just to keep me warm. And I am continuing working on my little knitting project for my granddaughter. I'm on my 32nd little flower. Now, after I went to the farm, to the Barnyard Farm, and that was so much fun. And I wish I had more footage. I didn't want to be rude and just videotape these poor people, so it was rather limited. But I was so excited when I got home and weighed those 2 fleeces and realized I had gotten an amazing deal on them. Really paid less per pound than I should have, and I felt kind of bad because they're very large. I just didn't know how much they weighed at the time. I'm holding my cup of tea. So I brought them home, and of course I don't want to open them up in the house. They can be pretty dirty around the edges. So I'm waiting for a good day to take them out in the sun when it's kind of warm, but it's February, and I'll do some footage out there and show you what they look like when I open them up. And so this is Saturday, and it's very cold. It's been very wet and rainy. We had standing water in our yard. Today is sunny as you can see. Tomorrow is sunny, but still cold. But Monday might be warm enough. So hopefully this week I'll get out there and spread out these fleeces and show you what I've got. Now, I have started though the roving, that I'm going to call it the nut brown roving. I have this rubber band on there to keep the end in place. But I did a big full bobbin of that. And I'm going to do another one, and then I'm going to ply them. And I just want to leave that just as it is, plied with itself. I think I'd love to make another sweater out of that. I would love to have a sweater. I've used my multicolored sweater. I've worn that a lot. You see it once in a while in here. I've worn it a lot, and I have discovered this winter, there is nothing as warm as wool. When I have that sweater on, my torso, that part of my body is never ever cold outside. Okay, so I'm going to take this outside. Right now I'm pondering whether I want to spin the cream colored fleece for like clothing kind of thing, and spin the brown fleece for rugs. And I still need to get some more cotton warp for rugs. I don't have any more. So there's a lot that's going to happen before I do some more weaving again. So quite exciting. So hopefully the next thing on this video will be me outside with fleeces. Meanwhile, I'm going to stay warm inside today and do a little knitting. Oh, I should show you my sock. The sock is coming along. Another advantage to using circular needles is you can pull the actual needles through and just have the cable, and you can try on your sock while you're knitting it, which is hard to do with double pointeds. So I've tried it on and it fits really well, and you see I've done the heel turn and the gusset and all that business. That wasn't easy for my little brain. And now I'm just working on the foot till I get down to the toe. So there's the top up there. Anyway, I think it's better than the other 2 pair I did. It's not nearly as good as most of the socks I see that people do. All right, so fleeces next, right? Oh my goodness, it was such a windy day. This was just yesterday when I took this outside. And this fleece is bigger than these 2 tables together. I did decide to put the dirty side up, clean side down, so I could really get a look at how dirty it was. And I ended up pulling off a lot of the stuff around the edges. On the left-hand end down there was the rear of the sheet, the U, and that's where there was some pretty significant sheet poop. So I pulled off all that, and then also around some of the other edges. It was just very dirty. Almost looks like tar, little pieces of tar in there. So I put all that in a bag and put it in the garage, and I doubt we'll use it for anything. Adam wants some of this. If there's stuff that's too short for me to spin, he would like to make little felted animals. So I'm going to try to save some out for him to use. Here I'm kind of trying to figure out, this is my first time to ever handle a big fleece like this, a sheep's fleece. I'm just trying to figure out kind of how it's constructed and how I want to lay it out so I can get a good look at it. When you pull it out, you can really see through it. Here's a close-up of the locks. Again, very clean on the end near the animal. Okay, let's give it a good clean. Okay, so I'm on the back porch now with this big creamy golden fleece, and I'm going to just remove a portion of it. Oh, see, there's Leo. This is where Leo has his meals, on top of the deep freezer on the back porch. That's where the dogs can't get his food. So I'm going to remove a portion and put it into a mesh laundry bag and try to keep the locks as intact as possible. Now they are pretty dirty, and so I need to wash them. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Leo prefers to eat when one of us is here with him, and if we're not here, he really doesn't like to eat by himself, which is hilarious. Now I'm just gently kind of tearing off, I guess you would say, this little portion of fleece. I want to start small because I haven't ever done this before. Really, I've done this with alpaca that didn't have lanolin in it, of course. Now what I am absolutely in love with on this fleece are all these gorgeous individual golden locks. And Chris Hamicott at the Pocket House Studio on the Isle of Lewis reminded me, don't over process these fleeces. And so I want to just handle them as gently as possible and process them as little as possible. I want to get them into a state where I can spin them. And so I'm probably going to avoid my hand carders. I might, if I have to, I'll use my hackle if I absolutely have to. Okay, so here is, well, there's a little extra. Here's a lock. Okay, and I measured these before. It's about 7 inches long. That's really long for a lock of fleece. And you can see that the part that was near the sheep's body is nice, is really clean. The part that was outside and the weather is dirtier. There's no VM or vegetable matter in this lock, and no little pieces of grass, but there's plenty of dirt, and the lanolin that's in there, which feels like lotion, but it's kind of, I guess they call it grease. You really want to remove that at some point. Now, you can remove it after you spin it. Some people love to spin from the grease and feel that lanolin on their hands when they spin. I think with this, I'm going to try washing it first because I'm not just trying to get out the lanolin. I got to get that dirt out of there. Some of it is so dirty, it's stiff on the end. Okay, so let's go in the bathroom and put this in a nice tub of warm, very warm water, and some degreasing dish detergent. I'm using Dawn. Okay. This little tub was a kitty litter tub that we don't use for that purpose. Now I'm just going to let this soak for the first time. I really probably shouldn't have put quite so much bubble in there. I don't think I need that yet. Right now we want to soak the fibers very gently. You make sure you don't agitate it in any way. I'm not going to pour water on it. I'm going to try to keep the cat out of here. You want to come play with it. And I'm going to let that soak for maybe 30 minutes or so, just to loosen, open up the fibers and loosen the dirt. You can already see how dark the water is getting from the dirt that's in there, can't you? Okay, so that lovely, I need to come up with a name for that creamy the golden fleece. I'll call it the golden fleece. That's a good literary term. The golden fleece is in there soaking. And so I want to talk a little bit about the nut brown roving. I showed you my first bobbin. I am almost done with my second bobbin. Let me show you that. There's my second bobbin. You see the animals just follow me around. Hey, Bobo. There's Bobo, my Pomeranian. There's Leo, my cat. He's an orange tabby. So here's my second bobbin, and I really just need to fill up this portion, and they'll be about equal. Now, the first bobbin is about 3.5 ounces. It's almost 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces, and then this one will be 3.5 ounces, so it'll be about 7 ounces of 2-ply. I think it'll be a chunky worsted weight. It'll be a little bit more than just your average worsted weight. And then I got to think of what I want to do with it. And like I said, I'm thinking of a sweater, maybe another vest. Where I live, it's really pretty warm and very hot in the summer and warm most of the year. I don't need tons of heavy sweaters. But right now in early February, the idea of a sweater is lovely. So I may make another vest. A vest is very useful. And my last one, was a little wonky. I didn't measure it right. So I need to finish spinning this up. And so this is what, did I show you I don't think I showed you the whole bag, but this is what I have left in my bag. I've probably used about half of it. So I'll have about 14 ounces, I guess, ballpark, of finished yarn when I get done to play with. And maybe I should. So here's that vest. I wonder how much it weighs. Let me take the Kleenexes out of the pocket. Let me get out my digital scale. I tell you, a digital scale, which I bought for making soap. I bought this scale 15 years ago at Walmart, and it still is wonderful. Okay, it's on grams. Let me see. I wonder if I can get it all on there. 13.9 ounces, so about 14 ounces. So 14 ounces of finished fiber should be enough to make me a vest, especially because that one's too big, so I could make a smaller one. All right, well, enough speculation. I'll bring you back, and the last thing on this video is we will contrast the first wash of this golden fleece with some dirty of the golden fleece, and see, I've never really done this. I've never done this with wool, so that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong from an old video, but we'll see how much effect that first wash has. Okay, Leo, back up. Now, it's been about a half hour. Let's see what we've got. I don't really want to do anything with this. What I want to see is how dirty that water is. It's pretty dirty. I guess it could be worse. Now, the last thing you want to do is to shock your fiber by putting it from hot water into cold water. So unless you want to felt it. If you want to felt it, that's a great way to do it. One way to do it. Let me get my glasses off before they fall off. So now we'll do this again. Even if I do try to do anything to it, all I'm doing is just pressing, just pressing. Okay, and we'll leave that again. Next time, we'll open it up and see how clean they look. Well, I've taken a little bit of fiber out. we did 2 washes, and then I lifted the tub out of the bathtub and put it on top of the sink because the leaning over is hard on the back, as most of you know. And so then I did several rinses in the tub very gently in pretty hot water. So let's open it up and see what we have. I can tell one side is cleaner than the other. This side is very white. This side has some yellow, but I think that those are those golden locks. I can't wait to see what it's like. Now there will be some VM that I'll have to take out. And some of that still looks like it's a little dirty. Let's see. I maybe need to soak it even longer, like for half a day. Oh yeah. Okay. Interesting. So here's a little piece of something there. I think what you can tell is that there really is some gorgeous golden color there. There's still dirt. There's chunks of things here we need to take out. Some of this is bugs. Some of it's grass. But you still have these tips that are dirty. So I'm going to have to, now see, that's not a tip. That's actually a piece of VM. I think I'm going to really pick some of this VM out so I can tell what I have and what I don't have. How much dirt do I? Because some of these locks are gorgeous. They really cleaned up well. There's just some that still have some dirt in them that might need another soak. Okay, well, but look how pretty. Look how gorgeous that is. Oh, feels like silk. Get one of these off of here. See how well they stick together? That's going to be nice to spin. The thing is that if you just have a little bit of dirt in the tips, man, I've got to get out a ruler for that. I think that dirt can also come out afterward. Let me get a ruler. That lock, technically, well, I don't have to pull it much. It's over 8. It's 8 inches. That's just crazy. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. This white is lovely. And to have this gold running through there as I spin it is going to be great. And this is why I don't want to over process this. If you comb it too much and are too aggressive with it, even after you've cleaned it, you can create a lot of what are called neps in your yarn, in your wool, and that's little teeny balls of fiber that just get, constricted and wadded up. And even that nut brown roving has some neps in it, and I would love to avoid that altogether. Oh, I'm just enthralled by this fiber. Okay, you people who are not into fiber, you probably think I'm a lunatic, and I don't blame you any. All right, I think that'll be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you've made it this long, I commend you. And I want to say thanks to all my new subscribers and new viewers that have come over. The channel seems to be growing. I hope you like what you find here. I'm not a highfalutin YouTuber. I'm really just an at-home person. This is just I'm no professional at anything I do. Matter of fact, the things I'm the best at are things I don't do here, like music, teaching, literature. That was a long time ago. All the stuff I do here is very much amateurish, like washing locks, which I'm clearly not that good at. Okay, so we'll do a lot more of this, and this will be a long-term project, and we'll see what in the world I can make of it. Thanks for watching. Click a little thumbs up thing if you liked it. Click a little thumbs down thing if you didn't. That lets the YouTube know that, that I need to improve. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time. This is the Neuse River. It's about 10 minutes from my house. It's about 7 miles wide. It flows out to the Pamlico Sound, and the Pamlico Sound flows out to the Atlantic Ocean. And sometimes we go out there too. Bye-bye. See you next time.